There's no better feeling of hitting good golf shots down the fairway. So my mission today is to help as many people as possible wake up every day feeling good that they're going to go out there and play great because of the single plane swing. I want you to rate my shots on a scale of 1 to 10. So I'll just give you a quick example. And I'll kind of talk you through my swing too. I'll get a little technical with you, but so if I hit a good shot, this is an 8-iron. If I hit a good shot like this, what would you rate that on 1 to 10? Okay, 9, 10, right? Pretty good. Okay.
All right. Actually, I think not bad for a robot, but 9-iron.
It is a 9-iron. It is a 9-iron.
But it wasn't a very good 8-iron.
So a 1. All right.
I said 2.
All right. So if I do this though, because this can happen. If I hit one perfect, like not perfect, but if I hit one straight, but see I caught that thin, what's that rated?
6.
Yeah. So I mean I would say it's a 3, but even though it might look good, didn't sound good, didn't solid. So we got to rate them. Now it'll get easier when I hit a driver because they go more left and right. But all right. So I want you guys to rate my shots, and as I hit these shots, I'll kind of walk you through some of the stuff Mo taught me about the swing. Here's the first thing that I try to, and this is going to sound somewhat analytical, but it's really not when you kind of figure this out. I'm trying to put my body in a position where I make the least amount of mistakes. Now, the address position that I'm teaching all of you here at the school is the single plane address, but let's look at it from the perspective of an address position that makes the least amount of mistakes. Legs are what? Straight. What's straighter than straight, right? So straight. Tilted from the waist. My lead arm is what? Straight. So what's straighter than straight? My back of my hand, because of my tilt, is to the target. So now the tilt in the back of my hand create a position where the face can be square. So I've simplified by the tilt in my arm position where the club face can be square. So I've simplified club face. My trail hand on the club is in a non-rotational position, skipping the rock, taking out the rotation, eliminated any chance for mistakes. So now all those elements together allow me to have a swing that now has less variables, less moving parts. This is all Mo. Second thing, let's talk about the motion. Notice from this position at address, when I take the club back, this is the same spatial relationship I have at address from here to here. It's like the club is attached to me. So I am basically moving the club in the same relationship to my body to here. Which some of you feel extension, right? It feels like it's extension, right? Okay, and we found out that's a lot of movement in the body. And then from here, I just fold up the right arm. So it's just extension, fold. And every time the club goes on plane when I do that. So what is plane? Plane is nothing more than the design of this golf club. Club's designed on this plane, you need to swing the club on a path that matches the way this club's designed. That's all it is. So I've taken this club, put it on its plane, moved it the way it's designed, and if I do that, it should square up. 9.5. I'll tell you if it's not a 9.5. I'll let you know, because if I hit it bad, I'll say, no. Now, here's what's cool about this, is that you want to, because I've put my body in these positions, hand to the target, non-rotational body tilt, it almost makes it hard to hit it bad. Because even bad swings, even if I get the ball position a little bit too far back, yeah, that was a 10. I hit that good, right on my line. And that was the ball a little back. I mean, maybe it came off a little lower than the last one. Ball too far forward. Here's ball position. I got it out here at the end, or the O in the zone. So the ball's too far forward. Here's that same swing. 8.5. But higher. But it's hard for me not to get the face square, right? Let me hit some a little longer here. All right, this is 7-iron. Check that. But look, same swing. The shaft got longer lever. I'm further from the ball, but the swing's not going to change. Same exact motion. Arms straight, tilt the body, same motion. Rate it. I hit it a little low, one groove down, so let's call it an 8. One groove down on that one.
You going for the third groove or the fourth?
Yeah, I'm going for the 3.5. Feels better at 3.5. That was like 3. We're right at the target though, maybe a half club short. All right, same thing. So what I do is I extend, because if I extend, I can't do anything else. It's like the only place my body can go. So I extend first, and then it creates the same relationship with the club to my body. So it's extension, width, return. That's what it really is. That's 10 all the way right there. That's good. That's as good as I can hit it.
Spray, put on your club so with the ball you can see if you're hitting high, low, left, little right, center, left, center. Just
I don't pay attention to that. I mean, okay, you hit it high in the face. What are you going to do? What are you going to change? You hit it low in the face. What are you going to change? Problem is you don't know, and I don't change. I just keep doing what's right. Keep practicing the correct things. That's all that matters. So you can measure it. That's a way of measuring. Is it working? But you don't know what to change because the data you're getting, you don't know how to interpret the data. So the data is worthless if you don't know how to interpret. Data is worthless if you don't know how to interpret it. Worthless. So why collect it? And the only data you need is your swing in the correct position or not. It's pretty simple. So, and I always tell people that the solution to every golf swing, match the model, do what's right. It's all in the model. Just match the model. It will work, I promise you. It will work. If your grip is wrong and your club face is closed, there it is. Fix that. If you're sliding your hips, fix that. I'm hitting it high in the face, but you're sliding your hips. Let's fix the body, and then this will work itself out. It'll be fine. So yeah, so don't worry so much about those things, you know. Yeah. 7.5. It was right side of the green, but it was a little fanned open. Yeah. Get left. Your whole partner. Your whole partner. All right, straight lines. Rate it. 9.5. I like that. 9.5. Hard to be perfect. Hard to be perfect. Tough crowd. So same thing. Straight lines. And look, extension, width. Because look, same space, same space, same space, same space. Makes that ball just get in the way. 11. I like that.
When you hit a really good shot on your YouTube channel, you know, I think somebody that hadn't seen you before, when you say, I absolutely nailed that.
I nailed that, yeah.
You just feel happy right then, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like pure joy.
Oh yeah. Well, they asked Moe, I get it. You know, they asked Moe, why do you like hitting balls? You know what he said? Feels good. It wasn't, oh, I like to hit him straight and watch him. No, feels good. I mean, that's cool, right? All right, 3-wood. This is the club that got in my bag from that YouTube video. But what's interesting is I have 2 3-woods. This one goes shorter than my other one. So one I use for driving, one I use for hitting into green. So like you guys will talk about clubs and say, well, what clubs should I have in my bag? I change clubs out based on the course I'm playing. Like there's a course I play where I can't get home on any of the par 5s, but some of the driving holes I don't want to hit driver off of, so I put my other 3-wood in because I can't get home on the par 5s anyway, and I carry my longer 3-wood. It goes 20 yards longer. It's almost a driver. But then I play the course where I can get home on a par 5 from 245. I carry this 3-wood. So there's some clubs that come in and out. Not a bad thing to do if you have, you know, different wedges that go different yardages, different even drivers. You know, I have certain drivers that go lower because, okay, it's raining. I don't want the ball to plug. I want the ball coming in lower. Put my other driver in, hit some lower shots, get some roll out of the ball. So there's different stuff I do in my bag. All right, 3-wood. Look at this. Same swing. Ball's more forward. Same motion. .5. That's about right. Now the ball position I use for my 3-wood is right at the O on the zone, right at the O. I can go a little forward or a little back, but that's pretty average for where my ball position is. All right, same straight lines.
You want to hit that?
That was sweet. I felt that over here.
10.
Yeah, that was a 10. That felt good in my hand.
You hit with it slightly descending.
Yeah, why though? Ball position. Yeah.
Look out for bugs.
Hey.
Thought you were serving lunch.
All right, so watch. This is off the Z, so a little bit more forward, a little more trajectory. Hit a little behind it, actually. Okay, 5.
You had something in your peripheral.
Yeah.
You had bugs in your way.
He was trying to put those in the ball. That's a rabbit.
9.5. 9.5. Let me do this. Oh, I have my other 3-wood. So watch this 3-wood. So first of all, so it's a little longer, and it has 14.5 degrees, so it has a little less loft. But this one goes about 20 yards further. So this is more of a hit it off the tee a few times, but watch the trajectory of this 3-wood. See, you can tell, right? 20 yards further. Comes off faster, comes off lower, rolls further. But that's not great for landing on a green. You know, it's not going to stop from 245. It's going to run across. So, and with this club, because it's 14.5 degrees, I have a hard time adding trajectory to it because it's so long. So I just don't like. It's a driving club. And it's a bullet, right? I mean, it's 8.5, 9. Went a little left. Yeah, it turned a little. Still hit the fairway though.
Is that because you came
No idea.
path on?
No idea. Felt a little left. I don't know. I try not to analyze anything. I just go back to the fundamentals. Same setup. Get my lines. See, didn't change anything. Just went back to my swing. I try not to think too much.
You go 30
I do my thinking when I train. That's where I do my thinking. When I'm demonstrating hitting balls playing, I execute. Yeah.
When you're in your coach ground, even though you're working on something, you're not analyzing what you did wrong. You're just like, I'm going to get back to what's right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's exactly it. I never look at what I'm doing wrong. That's a great way to put it. I always just keep going back to what I want to do right.
But you knew something was wrong, so that's why you're trying to get back to right.
Well, I need to identify what's not.
Please leave the course with that feeling.
Well, let me say the last time I hit it badly. Last year I played a round where I just didn't hit it very good, and it's pretty simple for me. Just didn't hit it good. Just felt, my sequence felt bad. Like I felt fast. And I felt fast, even though if you would have videotaped my swing, you wouldn't see a fast swing. It looked exactly like my other swings, but it felt fast to me. Tim was out in the range. Tim, watch me hit a couple. Ball position. My ball position got too far forward, and I was chasing the ball, trying to get to it. Ball position. And this is the problem, is that if you would have gone to the range and said, I'm going to fix my swing because I'm hitting it bad, it wasn't the swing. It was ball position. It was one of the basic stuff. So what I'm saying is, if you have bad data, you're going to produce bad analysis. So, that was my thing, is ball position. Well, then I put my ball back, and of course it felt a little weird at first, like it feels back now, but then literally in 10 swings, my rhythm started coming back. It took about 10 or 15 swings, and all of a sudden, it's back. Simple. So, got to be careful not to get too analytical about it. Okay, here's Thor's hammer. Well, again, extension, just the ball positions forward and on a tee. That's 9.8. What were you gonna ask?
We can't see it. No. How did you figure out the ball position was what?
Well, Tim showed me. Well, you can use this. See, this is like a stand. Right. See, that's the problem. Is like, and that's what happens on the course. Because I'll tell you, and like I track my rounds. Like maybe you guys track your rounds. When I play in a ton of wind, I start getting wacky ball positions, because trust me, when you're sitting into a 25-mile wind and you're hitting into some of the greens that I play on, like some of these holes are so hard, and a little too much spin on that ball is double bogey, you start kind of wanting to, it just happens to everybody, fighting the elements. So if I play too many rounds where I haven't really used I haven't used my alignment trainer, because I use this almost every time I hit balls. I check my ball position. But I've played a bunch of golf in a bunch of weird conditions. My ball position starts getting weird. You got to check your ball position. Tim too. Tim's the exact same way. It's like good players have this ball position thing. We're always kind of fighting our ball position a little bit. All right, same thing. I got a little tee. I'm gonna hit a little higher on this one. Ball's teed up a little bit higher. Ball's a little more forward. Nine.
I'd give you 10.
10? 10? Okay, 10. I mean, it was good. It was good. I felt good.
So Todd, you get your speed from this trigger right here. This trail arm is your speed. If you want to hit it further, what are you doing? If you want more speed, what are you doing?
Try to get the club to go faster, which means it's a combination of pulling and extending. You have to do both. Yeah. So it's an upper body and it's like I'm pulling and throwing faster. But I don't do that very often.
Yeah. It's not faster hips.
No. It's not that. Because the hips, let's put it this way. My hips have a range of motion. I've taught you that in the school. This is my range of motion of my hips. So going fast or going slow, they're going to go through the same range of motion.
It just stabilizes the motion.
Yeah, but these are the speed producers. Speed producers are up here. Yeah. The torso, arms, hands, and not even the hands, it's the wrists. So it's the wrist, arms, shoulders, torso produce the speed. So stabilize the upper body. And so the upper body is where I'm going to get the speed from, but if you're not stable, you can't get it, right? So stabilization and just accelerate the club. But see that flight? That's why I did that to this driver, because that's like the flight where it goes, and it kind of goes, it just never goes that way. Never sees the left side of the golf course.
I'll bet you can get one of those windows over there.
So when these conventional guys are talking about, the most important thing, Gary Player has talked about, the most important thing is clearing the hip. In Bobby Jones' book, he's talking about, connecting the club to the body, clearing the hip, not pulling the arms down.
They're not wrong. You have to open the pelvis. They're not wrong. But they don't have any data.
The motion, it connects it all.
They don't have any data. But they're not wrong. I mean, they're not wrong saying you have to open your pelvis. But what I don't like in instruction is the lack of clarity to it. You know, open your hips. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? You know, turn your hips fast. What does that mean? Yeah, I turn my hips fast. I turn them fast, probably faster than some. But does that mean that I turn them as fast as I can and come out of my shoes and straighten my leg? No, within a limit. Within a limit. So I'm going quickly within my limits. So yeah, I turn my hips fast, but I'm limited too. So there's got to be some definition to it. That's what I've been trying to do as an instructor, is define things. 40 degrees of pelvis rotation, 35 plus at impact. There's your range of motion, knee flex, foot down. That's how you need to limit your body's movement. Now, train within those limits. And it works because it leaves the upper body in a position where it can get to the ball. So you're going to see, that's why I want my foot on the ground and my knee flexed. And that's the best flat I've hit, right? That's a 10. That's the best. You saw the flight on that because it looks like it's just never going up.
Check the hole because the ball might be.
Yeah, I hit that good.
That speed is upper body. Mo talked about being an
Upper body.
player.
Yeah. Upper body.
You can't get that if your lower body ball out of whack.
You can't get that if your lower body hasn't reached its range of motion. You have to get the range of the body because, like, stand up, don't turn your pelvis. And I showed you yesterday. If you don't turn your pelvis, your torso is limited. I open my pelvis, torso can then release. So
It's like a slingshot. The rubber band throws the rock, but if the Y stick isn't there, the rubber band's working.
yeah, exactly. All right, watch this. I'll put the club further back because it doesn't matter to me how far I put it back ever. Yeah, good flight.
Have you ever, just to say you did it, and you could have used a plastic bottle, have you ever tried the bottle?
Oh yeah, we filmed it.
Oh, you did?
Coke bottle,
Did you do a glass one?
glass.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't get, no, we smashed them all. Couldn't do it. I have no idea how he did it.
There's a classic picture of Moe getting off the Coke bottle. You can keep it up.
Yeah, we have not figured that one out. Now, I never saw Moe do it in person. I probably should have asked him to do it. But I never saw him do it in person. So my theory, which could be BS, I don't know. I think he would tee it up inside the bottle where you couldn't see the tee, so it would sit out of the glass because it does, or the bottles had a smaller opening, but since the ball sits in the bottle, now I can top it out of the bottle, like kind of top it out and not break the bottle, but I can't hit this ball in the sweet.
Ball hanging over the edge.
I can't hit, but I even hit Moe's driver. You know the one he has the picture? Yeah. I was taking that driver out of the Coke bottle. And that's a deep face. So it was like, I don't know how he did it. If he figured that out, which physics, I don't think physics
I'd like to hear him describe how
I don't think physics allows it, to be honest with you, but I'd like to see that.
Would it be in his character to basically be screwing with everybody?
Yes.
With that Coke bottle?
All the time. Oh, so every time that I would pick Moe up for a clinic, he'd say I changed my swing. So, how's that, Moe? And I videotaped it all. I said, no, nothing. You may think something's changing. Nothing's changing. He goes, yep, I changed my swing. And on this day, we were taking Moe down to do a clinic for about 60 PGA pros. So Moe was doing a clinic for some pros. And I said, Moe, and I'm driving him from Titusville to Orlando. It's about an hour drive. I said, Moe, please, when we get there, don't say anything about changing your swing because you can tell me later, but we'll talk about it later. But just do your clinic, do your thing, don't say anything. Okay. We get to the clinic. I grabbed Moe's clubs like I usually did. I threw them on the tee, scattered them around, got some balls out, sat down like I usually did to roll balls at him. He picks up his wedge. Change my swing, people. Change my swing. First thing. And I'm like, oh, God. And so, Moe. And so he says, but he wouldn't tell anybody. He just starts hitting shots like, look at this. And then he starts going, he knows. He can see it. Starts pointing at me. He can see it. Look, watch this. And he starts hitting balls. So he hits a couple hits a shot, hits a couple wedges, hits some shots. And And then,
That one went left.
yeah, it was 9.5. So, see, I'm a terrible social golfer. So, after about 10 minutes, this instructor says, Mo. And so Mo goes, they said, Mo, what'd you change? He goes, I'm more level. I'm more level. He goes, he can see it, I'm more level. Everybody's like, what? What does he mean, level? What does he mean? So he starts hitting balls, and this goes on for 30 minutes, I'm more level. And finally, somebody goes, Mo, what do you mean I'm more level? He goes, level of awareness, I'm more aware now. That is Mo. It's a little left. Still fairway.
I'm expecting a 10-foot dispersion at the pin out there.
Well, this line. This line is just, it's, come look at my line.
What's our target that we're looking at? Which part of a house?
Yeah, you're not lined at the pin.
What's east?
You're lined at
That's
the
my line.
at the edge of the.
That's my line. My line's between the pin and, let's say, the left side of the range. That's my line.
I'm not worthy.
My line. See, I'm a line guy. I don't care about the target. Where did it go on my line? Did it go where my body is intending it? So now I'm a little more towards the flag here. I just realigned that. So I'm a little more right line now.
Hey, when Mo first saw your swing, because you were working on it for like a year before you met him,
Uh huh.
and you asked him to try his clubs. When he first saw you, what did he say, and how did that
Looks like me without a belly.
without a belly?
Looks like me without a belly. Now I got a little belly, but
Hey,
at the time I didn't. I was like you.
can you talk about the first time you got to meet Mo?
Yeah. So
When was it? How long ago?
So a friend of mine played the Canadian Tour in '93. Matthew Lane, good player, college teammate of mine. Matthew is probably the guy who I respected most. We worked on our swings together. I coached him. He was my teammate, then I coached him. He won the national championship on the team we played on. Matthew's just an all-around great player. Won the New Zealand Open in 1998, great player. He's playing the Canadian Tour in '93. And he comes back. I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm working with Hank Haney on my game. Matthew has this tape. Now, I had heard of Mo before, but he comes in, I'm in my apartment, he goes, you got to see this. He's a freak. Because he had been hitting balls with Mo up in Canada for the whole weekend. He goes, he's a freak. And for Matthew to say that to me, you got to understand, Matthew doesn't think anybody's any good at golf except for him, right? Matthew's like, you have to be really good for Matthew to think that you're good. Matthew's like, he's a freak. So I'm like, let me see. And so there's Mo. And the good news is that when I was working with Hank Haney, all we worked on was swing plane. I mean, we talked about swing plane every day, but we were starting from our hands hanging down, trying to get it on plane. And so the first thing I did on that video was I drew a plane line on Mo, because that's all we did all day long was look at plane lines. And of course Mo, looked like this, but then when he went like this, I was like, holy shit. And then he went like this, and the club went right back down to its impact plane. I went, holy shit. I go, he just planed the club easier than I've ever seen it done. Oh yeah, to me, because I was trying to plane it from all these different angles. Occasionally I could get it pretty close, occasionally I hit it good, but just random.
Did he bring that to you because he knew you were looking for something, or because it was just so amazing?
Matthew and I, we just talk golf all the time. He's like a brother of mine. We're golfers. I mean, but Matthew was like, you got to see this, because he was freaked out by it. So after I saw that video, what do you think I did the next day? I'm at Hank's studio like this. But it was like, I'm sure I wasn't very good, but I was like.
What did Hank say? Did you see it?
How he thought I was a freak show.
Because he doesn't, to this, did he not ever understand it?
I don't know how he doesn't understand it, but I mean, he was like, oh, you're a freak. But
There's so many lines in the.
But let me tell you, all I had to do was do this a couple times where I could take it back and easily I hit that bad, and look at the ball flight. Like, that's never going to get you in trouble, right? When your bad shots start being good, you're making progress. Because I noticed immediately that my bad shots got better. I could get the club to impact. It was easier to get on plane, but it still took me a year to kind of figure it out. Like I still had to, you know, I still had rotations from my swing. I mean,
Did you just figure it out all on your own, or did you work in the studio with Hank on?
no, I didn't work with Hank at all. I stopped working with Hank, and then I just used that video of Moe. And then I met Moe a year later.
And so you just figured all this out on your own.
Yeah, I just used video.
And just prepared yourself.
Did you ask to go meet Moe or talk to him, or just?
So what happened was, so about the same exact time, there was a company called Natural Golf.
I did that.
They were not a Moe Norman company at first, but then Mark Evershed, who's a Canadian guy that knew Moe really well, told the owner of Natural Golf, hey, what you're teaching is very similar to Moe Norman. Well, at that time, there was investors were putting money into Natural Golf, and I was practicing like Moe, so I was swinging like Moe. So I go to do this clinic. I get invited by Natural Golf to meet Moe at a clinic, and I'm the guy holding the demonstration papers, like backswing, down, you know, papers blowing around. And at the end of the clinic, Moe's sitting there, and I mean, it was. And to describe this clinic was like, it's very hard to describe, but it's like that flag, he's aiming in that direction, everyone's going in that direction, just boom, 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 chain trip, boom, boom, boom. And then solid contact. I mean, he was hitting off, this is plush compared to what he was hitting off of. He was hitting off of dirt, and it was just flushing it. I was just so impressed by, and I had played with the best players in the world. I'd played in the Asian Tour in '91, I'd played with great players, and I've never seen anything like it. And he didn't look like he should be hitting it good, because that's not what you should normally see. But it was perfect. So I walked up to him after the clinic and I said, best I've ever seen, Moe. And he goes, I know, I'm best in the world. I said, how'd you learn to do that? And he goes, hard work, can't buy it. I said, it's great, Moe. You can't care if I hit your 8-iron? He goes, go ahead. So I grabbed his 8-iron and stood up like that. And he goes, ooh, me without a belly. Took me without a belly.
Do you think Moe had ever seen someone before you that was trying to do it?
No, because when I used to go see him on his birthday, I used to go up early July and play golf with him. And this was 2004, the year he died. I was up on his birthday and he wanted to play. And we're on like he didn't usually play 18 holes, played 9, but he wanted to play 18 this day. So we stopped to have a hot dog, and he goes, we're having some lunch, and he goes, never thought I'd see it. I go, see what? And he goes, somebody swinging like me. Never thought I'd see it. And it's kind of cool. So that was the last round.
That's probably your best video. It's awesome.
Yeah.
How did he feel about you teaching his swing to the rest of the world?
What can one man do? I told him, I said, Moe, I'm going to bring your swing to the world. He goes, well, what can one man do? I don't know. I said, we'll see.
Do you get any sense at what age he started swinging like Moe? Did he go through any analytical process?
That's a good question. You know, there's a study, Kitchener-Waterloo, the college there did a study on Moe when he was younger. The title of the article was called, let me think of the name of it, but it was about practicing. Like what kind of practice do you have to do to achieve this level of skill? And it mentions a lot of some trial and error process that Moe went through. Now, my conversations with Moe, yeah, there was a 5-year period from the age of about 14, Moe would tell you 14 and 19, where it was trial and error. Hooking it, slicing it, changing your grip. Yeah, I think there was a whole 5-year process in there, for sure. But, hey Moe, how long did it take you to get your swing? 5 years. After 5 years, I trapped it. He called it trapping it. Like I trapped it.
He was chasing it.
I trapped it. 5 years, I trapped it. All right, this is a club my brother thinks I shouldn't have in my bag anymore. It's 4-iron.
Should not?
Yeah. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that's.
Didn't he have a hard time getting one of those made for you?
3-iron, but I still carry.
Yeah.
Still carry it.
There's not much of a divot.
Yeah. Shallow. But this grass is pretty This grass is very thick anyway. The turf at our range is very tight, and I take more of a divot there. But it's pretty fluffy here. It's almost teed up here a little bit. But no, I wouldn't take much of a dip with the forehand anyway. That's a 10.
What's so crazy is your swing looks so effortless and so smooth. It's like, what's the matter with me? Why can't I just do that? It looks
Because you're missing positions. Positions, because positions create the ability to be effortless. Effortless comes from just, because the positions that you want to put your body in, if you look at it biomechanically, I have rotated my arm the least amount necessary. I have hinged my hands the least amount necessary. I've moved my torso the least amount necessary. I've stabilized in the most efficient way. I've rotated into a place of limitation, so the most I can. So all these things added together look effortless. I'll show you how to make it look like there's effort. It's simple. Put your body out of position. Okay, now, how do I get this club to hit that object? Effort. I got to change its position because the club can't hit the ball on this plane. Change my position. Up, rotate, back, down. And then I got to time that. So the answer is not try to fix your timing or fix your positions. It's always that. And then what happens is, you know how Moe would say it's like a pendulum? You know what he meant? A pendulum moves effortlessly because it's swinging in a plane. It's not, that's effort. It's swinging in a plane. So I got to get this club to swing on its plane like this. I got to get the club to move on its plane. That's what he meant by that. I got to get my body to move the club where it's effortless, where the club is not deviating from its plane.